Today I'm going to talk about my final case study for communications, and it's specifically about mass communication. I'm really focusing on the communication that occurs in the show 13 Reasons Why. This is a show that was recently released on Netflix and has become very quickly popular based on the sensitive material that it covers, which is about suicide. The first episode is called Tape 1 Side A, and it's set in a high school. The show isn't completely true, but it has been based on realistic situations that have occurred that I'll get to further in this video. But the point is, this girl, Hannah Baker, had been hanging out with a boy and she had gotten a picture taken of her private parts, and though that picture got sent out to the whole school through text message, which is what the communication is, the text message that got mass sent to everybody. Because of this situation occurring, the main character, Hannah Baker, starts to experience bullying and sexual harassment. The bullying and the sexual harassment ends up leading to the main character committing suicide, which in a lot of cases has happened. The stakeholders in this particular case would include Hannah Baker and any other person, real life person that has experienced a situation like this, that's experienced bullying or sexual harassment. Also, anybody that has seen or been a part of any form of bullying, or anybody that can be a good support to people that are going through this situation. So while I was watching the show, I was thinking, as a future teacher, I think it's important for people within the school staff to get parents involved and get to other adults involved. So the alternate solution that I came up with when I was watching the show and then later thinking about it was, in this case, specifically for Hannah Baker or any other person that's dealing with this sort of situation, is to have a good support system. The girl in the show tried reaching out to friends and to school staff, and no one really saw the warning signs. So kind of the ethics of the alternatives I connected to real life cases. CNN wrote an article titled How a Cell Phone Picture Led to Girls' Suicide. In 2010, 13-year-old Hope Whitsell committed suicide after a picture of her had gotten spread around school, and she had been bullied afterwards. A friend of Holly's said that her friend would have to make a protective wall around her so that people wouldn't come up and push her. Another form of communication that was used in this real-life case for Holly was a MySpace page called Holly's Hater Page, and people would just go on there and slander her. The school's action for Holly being bullied was for her to sign a no harm page, which said that she would talk to an adult as soon as she thought about harming herself. The problem is that no one contacted her parents about it, and so her mother had no idea. When schools contact parents, there's just more people reaching out to that struggling person. In the show, the parents hadn't realized that Hannah Baker had any signs of depression or anything like that, but the student had reached out to the counselor in the show. After the picture had got sent out of Hannah Baker, people started calling her whore and her reputation was damaged. The issue is that after the picture got sent out through text message, everybody thought it was acceptable to socially and sexually harass this girl. Another real-life case that was really similar to Hannah Baker in 13 Reasons Why was covered by Daily Mail, and it was about Jessica Logan in 2010. This is another case where a girl had sent out a nude picture of her boyfriend, and she was just bullied afterwards. Her life was misery, and it ended up similar to the other two cases. 13 Reasons Why really hits home for a lot of people because it is based on a lot of real life actions, on a lot of bullying, a lot of mass communication, and just reaching out to others. I think the practical constraints in this case would be you can't control anybody's actions, and so it's important for teacher and staff to hold assemblies to let people know about proper ways to communicate through text message and how to keep yourself safe and bullying and how to reach out to others. The kind of personal action that I took from watching the show was, as a future teacher, I think it's so important to build these connections with students. So when something starts to change, you can reach out to that student and be that support and be that person that they can feel comfortable talking to, and so that they don't feel alone. with mass communication evolving and people sexting and sending pictures through text messages, I think it's important for adults to become educated so that they know what's going on in their kids' lives. And it's important for them to realize what's going on also, different social media sites like Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Instagram, because those are all things that kids are constantly seeing on their phones. So 13 Reasons Why is a really sensitive show. It hits home for a lot of people, but I think it really opens up this way to communicate about something that's really sensitive and makes people think about what they're doing, what their actions are, and how they can change some of those things.